What is the title? The title is Tools. Yes, tools. Today we're going to be talking about tools. What do you see on the cover? I see many things. I see many hands. So I see a hammer, a pencil, green scissors. I see a red ruler. I see a whisk. What is it whisking? What is it misking? Or what is it whipping? There we go. Whipping some eggs, right? See a notebook. Let's start and read. Here we go. A hammer is good for hitting. What is a hammer good for? When do we use a hammer? Why do we use a hammer? Scissors are good for cutting. What are scissors good for? In this page here, what is the scissors cutting? What is it cutting? A whisk is good for mixing. What is a whisk good for? What is it mixing? A ruler is good for measuring. Do you know what measure means? Measure means to figure out the size of something. So, what is it measuring? What else do you see on this page? A pencil is good for writing. What is good for writing? Let's switch the question around. What is the person writing on the notebook? What did they draw on the notebook? And what are these good for? Do you know what these are? Let me help you out. A watering can. What else do you see? I see crayons. I see a top saw. What else do you see? We can call this a soup spoon or a scoop. I don't think it's a scoop. It's not a spatula. I think we can say it's a soup spoon. What else? Not a soup spoon, sorry, a ladle. This is called a ladle. This is called a hoe, right? I see a garden hoe, a ladle, a screwdriver. What are these good for? I know these can be related. They can be used at the same place. Where can we use this? These two are related. We would use them when we build something. When do we use crayons? Where do we use a ladle? Where? So here you can create your own toolbox, right? So go ahead and do that. Let's work on let's work on the workbook. All right, whose tool is this? Whose tool is this? It's the first person we have. Who is it? Who is this? Doctor, right? He is a doctor. What kind of tool is a doctor going to need? The doctor is going to need a stethoscope. Do you know what a stethoscope is? A stethoscope is a tool that that allows doctors to hear your heartbeat. It helps the doctors to hear your heartbeat. So they would wear the stethoscope like headphones, right? They would put it in their ear. They'll put it in their ears, and then they would use the circular part, and they will put that on your chest and maybe your back to hear your heartbeat. So which one of these tools is a stethoscope? Stethoscope. The next person. Who is the next person? A policeman. A policeman. What does a policeman do? A policeman catches criminals, right? So, what kind of tool would the policeman need? The policeman is going to need handcuffs. Do you know what handcuffs are? Handcuffs are something that goes around your wrist so you don't run away to put you down in place. Is this a handcuff? Can I put my arms through there? No, I think these are handcuffs, right? So go ahead and connect that through. Ooh, that is not a pretty line. There we go. Handcuffs. The next person is hairdresser. Hairdresser. A hairdresser is someone who does your hair, who gives you haircuts, who can dye your hair into many different colors, who can perm your hair, perm your mom's hair, trim your dad's hair. So, if a hairdresser is going to cut your hair, what is the hairdresser going to need? Definitely this knife, right? Going to cut your hair with this knife, right? No? Maybe this? No. Ah, the hairdresser gives your hair different colors, so she's going to need paint, right? No, she's going to need the special scissors. So go ahead and connect the hairdresser to the scissors. Yeah, not the knife. Let's not cut our hair with a knife. The next person. The next person is a chef. What is the chef going to need? A chef is a cook, someone who cooks. Well, if we're going to cook many different type of foods, we're going to have to gather our ingredients like vegetables. And we're not going to put the vegetables as a whole thing as it is. We're going to chop them up. What do we chop them up with? Oops. We chop them up with a knife, right? So we're going to chop it up with a knife, not with our phones, not with the fire extinguisher. The next person, who's the next person? The next person is, oops, sorry. The next person is a painter. Well, a painter is someone who paints. So what is the painter going to need to paint? It's in the name and the job. They're going to need some paint. All right, good job. Let's go on to the next page. Whose tool is this? So our first person here is a scientist. What is a scientist going to need? A scientist is someone who does a lot of experiments, right? So it looks like he's going to work with probably some heavy chemicals. So he's going to need some safety tools like a beaker because he can't touch the chemicals with his hands, but he needs to see them and he needs to work with them. So he or she Um, so they're going to need a beaker. Do you know what a beaker is? A beaker is something that looks like a glass bottle to put their chemicals in that they're experimenting with. The next one is a singer. A singer is someone who sings a lot of songs. La 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 la. So a singer, what is a singer going to need to sing? Do they need a shovel? No. A pencil? Maybe to write songs? I don't think so. What are they going to need? They're going to need a mic to sing. So connect the singer to the mic. The next person is delivery man. Delivery man. So a delivery man, what is he going to need? The delivery man is someone who brings you mail and your packages, right? So we're going to have to find the delivery man his packages. Which one? Right here, the delivery man with his packages. So do that. Next one is a farmer. What is the farmer going to need? The farmer is going to need something to dig a hole on the soil, on the ground, so the farmer can plant things like flowers or food like vegetables, fruits. So, what do we need to dig? The farmer is going to need a shovel to dig. The next one is a magician. A magician is someone who entertains, who does a lot of magical acts. And so I think a lot of magicians are going to need their magic stick. Where is the magician's magic stick? Here it is, right here. Good job. Let's go on to the next page. Oops, something on my screen. Good job. Now let's look at the tools here and figure out which one does not belong. Ooh, something does not belong. So let's find out which one doesn't, sorry. Gonna get my pen and I'm gonna make it the color red. So in the first box here, what do we have? We have a measuring cup, a whisk, a drill gun, a rolling pin. So which one does not belong? It looks like a lot of the objects here we can use in a kitchen, right? But something doesn't look right. We would not use this in our daily cooking day. We would not use this on a day-to-day basis to help us cook. So which one does not belong? The drill gun, very nice. We're gonna X that out like this. There we go. The next one, what do we have? There's a pencil, an eraser, a notebook, and a blender. Something does not belong. I think these are items that we can take to school, or we could take to the library to study, or we can use to gather and organize our notes from school that day. Maybe we can use this to write a diary, but one of them is not going to help. Which one does not belong, everyone? The blender. The blender is not going to belong. It doesn't make sense. All right. The next one, we have a thermometer that takes your temperature, a shot to give you vaccines or medicine that we're going to have to put through your arm or your butt sometimes. an IV drip bag, and some crayons. All right. It looks like these tools belong in a hospital. They belong in a hospital. And a doctor would use them to help you, a doctor or a nurse. But one of them, I don't think it's going to help you for your health. Looks like the answer is going to be crayon. X out the crayon. The next one, what do we have? We have a watering can, some gloves, a stethoscope, the tool that tells your heartbeat, a shovel. So these items look like they belong in the garden. But one doesn't belong in the garden. Which one doesn't belong in the garden? A stethoscope. Go ahead and X that out. The stethoscope does not belong. Good job. Let's go to the next page. Color puzzle. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut this puzzle out. You're going to cut this puzzle out and you're going to glue it onto this frame here. And go ahead and complete the puzzle by yourself. Now, here's the tools count and graph. How are you going to utilize this graph? Go to the next page. You're going to cut this dice and make this dice out. You're going to cut it out and make it. And you're going to roll it, right? You're going to roll it. And you're going to figure out how many times the hammer came out, or the scissors, or the whisk, the pencil, or the ruler. Or you can figure it out in real life how many you have. Let's see. You can also look at the guide video and see how you can utilize it there as well. The next page, we're going to fill in our missing alphabet. Sorry, I just had a little brain fart there. So what does this mean? This looks like a random letter. These are a bunch of random letters, but in the order of the alphabet, right? So not so random. We're not going to spell out anything. We're just going to fill in the blank. So here we go. F blank HIJKLMNOP, right? So what comes between F and H? A, B, C, D, E, F. The answer is G. Good job. The answer is G. So I'm going to write that down. Whoops. There we go. The next one. Next one is pretty easy. A, B, C, E. So the answer is going to be D. Very good. So we have G out and D out. We have 3 more. So let's start from Q. Q, R, S, T, U, V. Oh, I said one answer. W, X, Z. So what's the answer? What comes in front of W? The letter V comes in front of W. And what comes between X and Y? X and Z, sorry. X and Z. The letter Y comes in between the letter X and Z. L, M, N, O, P. The final answer is going to be P. And over here, you're going to cut this toolbox out, and you're going to make your own toolbox by filling in the tools that you use or you want to use and need. So go ahead and have fun with that and practice your 2 sight words with your mom or dad, and that ends tools. Good job, everyone.